My name is Klaus, and I have two brothers. But my brothers suddenly and inexplicably disappeared. What's going on here? I was bound to find the truth. My second and elder brothers disappeared one after another, but my parents did not show any abnormality. Whenever I inquired about the whereabouts of my older brother and my second brother, my parents would desperately try to stall me and avoid the topic. I felt very strange about their behavior, not to mention that I missed them very much. While I was in this endless confusion, I also noticed that my parents were behaving abnormally. Whenever they were talking about some topic, they would shut up when they saw me coming. For my brother's sake, I was going to call the police. When the police arrived, my parents actually told the police that they had no other children but me, and provided a false document, saying I was crazy. The police actually believed their bullshit. I thought my parents would inform me of the truth, or get mad at me, after the police left, but they still didn't do anything. I felt very lonely. Without my brothers, I came up with a plan to hide and eavesdrop on my parents' conversations, since I couldn't get anything out of asking them. In the evening, just after dinner, I said I was going to my room to rest, but in fact I crawled under the bed in my parents' bedroom. The first night, I waited for a long time for my parents to return to the room to rest, and I fell asleep because I waited too long. It was a good thing that I woke up again in the middle of the night, but I never heard them talking about my brothers. Instead, they were impatient to get some special exercise in bed. I managed to stay up until they fell asleep and escaped. This time I got nothing, but I wasn't about to give up. So the next night, I went under the bed again. This time I finally didn't fall asleep again, but the result was no different from the first day. I still didn't hear any useful information, but instead I listened to another night of bed game. But I was not one to be easily discouraged. After all, this was about my brothers and about my parents. I planned to crawl under the bed every day until I figured things out. This went on for a week, and instead of hearing anything useful, except who my parents were sending to military school, I felt like I was going to drain myself dry. When I got back to my bedroom, I tried to put together the information in my head. I didn't know what was going on, but my sixth sense told me that my brothers weren't living with my grandparents. Nothing major happened over the next few nights, but then the weirdness began. They were extra nice to me, and this abnormality creeped me out. When I got home from school, I was surprised to see a birthday cake waiting for me. My parents said, "Happy 18th birthday." I was confused, because my birthday was 8 months later. I was very upset, and then I saw a military bus coming, and my parents were going to force me to go to military school, so I ran away without a thought. On the way, I met a policeman. I wasn't going to tell him the truth about what happened, because I thought the policeman would disbelieve me like the last one, but the policeman treated me as a suspicious person, and I had to cry and tell him what happened. Maybe I looked too real, and the police intended to investigate my parents. To my shock, the record said that they adopted 3 children 17 years ago, and these children were me and my 2 brothers, but their names were different from ours. The officer went on to say that it was very strange that these 3 children were born in the same month. I thought my brothers were at different age with me. Why didn't they tell us that we were adopted? Why did they change our names and birthdays? To discover the truth, the police put a wire in my pocket and waited for me outside my home. While I went inside to question my parents, I told them I had discovered the truth about the adoption, and asked them why they had adopted me and my 2 brothers. They told me that they only adopted us to get the social benefits their lawyer had arranged, and that they made $250,000 from it. Their plan was to let us go as soon as we turned 18, without exposing their illegal adoption. That's why they sent an email to one of my brothers, claiming to be from a reputable company, and then tricked him into working abroad. As for my other brother, they lied to him about his biological parents being millionaires living in South Africa. As for me, their plan was to send me to join the army, cut off all contact with me, and move to another country. I couldn't believe it. They had lied to me all my life. Tears were running down my cheek, and I wanted to get out of there, but my dad couldn't let me go. because I knew their secret, and they were going to put me in the cellar. Before I could react, he grabbed me, but just then the police broke in and stopped them. After that, they were both locked up. The police sealed off the investigation. However, I was still looking for my brothers, and I hoped that one day I would find them.